So this is Android 16. Android's 16th version of its Android versions, obviously, and I'd say we see a step forward. In summary, as the title of this video suggests, Android 16 is 100% a step forward in terms of performance and overall design of the software. So in this video we're going through a few of the things I've noticed, but more of course the user experience as a review suggests that I've gotten with Android 16 in 2025. Let's get into it. So Android 16 has been, it's a good software, but obviously all great things start somewhere, right? Yes, all great things start somewhere, and Android released its first version, I think it was Android 8, where they released Android 8, Android 9, Android 10, Android 11, Android 12, Android 13, which is pretty good, Android 14, 15, which is alright, and 16, which is really a good setup. And it's great to see in this device that we have a good setup with Android 16. We can see that Google's taken a strong direction, a strong leap in the right direction. If you compare this to like casual things like Formula 1, it's like Mercedes upgrading their car from a W13 and getting a new floor for Spa, for example, where they had a leap in performance eventually. Things like this, where you've had a not very good baseline. This could be in anything, by the way, and time and refinement like Google does. Google is a software company, improves its performance. And yeah, we're going to be talking about how this is like to use, including talking about the new features in this software. So far with Android 16, it's fair to say I haven't seen too many changes. And whilst that might sound a bit bleak from Android's perspective, yes, there have been some small incremental changes that I've definitely noticed that have definitely increased performance on a day-to-day basis. And as an example, the whole software itself has kind of changed. It's hard to explain, but little things like, for example, when you want to split the screen, that software has changed, and when you go onto the volume sliders, the whole settings app has changed. It's become a lot more refined, and I like the way Android now works. Light and dark mode also appears to look slightly different, and the battery icons at the very top of the screen have also been changed to look a lot more bigger. I mean, not too much bigger, but if you look closely, you can see that there's quite a big difference in terms of that. Apart from that, we still have the normal swipe up for your Android apps, and I think where you have the app split before you see the normal app drawer, there's a change in that as well. So everything just looks a lot more refined. And I definitely like this new Android 15 version. It is definitely a relatively big step up. There's obviously user experience, as suggested, is most important in a review, in my opinion, which is what I'm going to be focusing on. How's Android 16 like to use on a day-to-day basis? And it is great, I'll say. So yeah, we're scrolling up now. We can see at the top the battery widgets and everything is slightly changed. It's become a lot more refined. And yeah, we have widgets as well on the screen that have slightly changed. As you can see, a close-up shot here shows the battery widget, the data widget, and do not disturb. And you also have group notifications, which I think I have a clip of you guys, or of me showing you guys later. But obviously, on a day-to-day basis, with the specs of the Pixel 8a, how does this phone work on a day-to-day basis? Most importantly, of course, this phone flies. It's got a Google Tensor G3 chip, as well as 6 GB of RAM and 120 Hz FHD to 430 ppi screen. Of course, lock screen settings on the screen hasn't changed, and also this phone just works well. I think just having a good software is the baseline for a phone. Whilst of course there's much more important things and much more important pillars, which you guys will see in my review, which should hopefully be coming up relatively soon. The pillars of a phone are in software, and software is really, really important. Now for the negative, and then we'll go back to just finishing over the user experience. Is there anything I don't like about Android 16? If I'm being honest, the user experience is great, as mentioned, but of course there's a few things that I hope will be improved on in the beta version, of which I've already tested. I know, I'm just that guy. Very funny. Anyways, sorry about that not very funny joke. Yes, I am just that guy. I've tested Android 16 beta already, 16 beta QPR 1 beta 3. It needs a lot of work from what I can see. I'm just a kid testing out, making tech videos online, of course, don't take my word for it, but as someone who's tested out lots of tech before, Android 16 QPR 1 beta 3 needs to work. I definitely prefer this version, which is why I've come back to this version too many times. And yeah, so as you can see, I've got a nice angle shot of the phone here. Yeah, no, the phone works well on Android 16. If you're using the phone normally, I don't think you'll have any issues using this version. And generally speaking, it works really, 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 really well. Yeah, a few things have changed here and there. As I said, the music player's changed. Little things like this. So if you go into menus in the settings, you'll notice they look slightly different, slightly more, refined than usual. Little things like this help to create a great experience with Android 16, and it is for sure on show with this version. The lock screen, of course, stays widely the same, with some wallpapers, and when you make a wallpaper you can also select the time, for example, what the time starts to look like. That changes, and when you boot up the phone for the first time you get a small animation, of which I really, really like. And yeah, generally speaking, the changes made to Android 16 have definitely been changed in the right direction, and there's nothing I don't like about the software. Improvements to the proper Android 16 version, as touched on before though, has to be refinement. This version is good, but I feel like Android can do more to make the Material You theme stand out more. As you can see on this screen, we have the music player standing out here. As you can see, that has changed slightly. Of course, different angles of the phone shows how it's like to use, and yeah, it is really a great phone to use on a day-to-day basis, and there's no problems I've had with the phone whatsoever. But again, we just need refinement with everything. Not everything that's great is made time. You know, whether that's given a random example to make this video seem more in-depth. Whether glass is made from sand, trees are made from paper, are made from trees. Everything fundamental takes something that isn't great to be refined. That's a good simile there. We're using some good English verbs here, and it's true. Everything fundamental takes time, like Android 16. So yes, Android 16 is a step forward, but how much bigger of a step can Android take? Can Google take when they release the official release of Android 16? They're still on QBR Beta 1, Beta 4. This is just a stable release of Android 16. And yes, I've tested Android 16 before, and yeah. So how much further? So yes, picking up this phone on Android 16 for the first time is a great experience. But of course, nothing is perfect. Even if I do say that as if I'm going to say something bad, in fact it's actually going to be positive. Using this phone on a day-to-day basis is an absolute joy. I love using Android 16 on this phone, and I cannot wait. I am literally waiting. I'm so excited for the official release of Android 16, and hope you guys are too. While also talking, why don't you subscribe to my YouTube channel for my official Pixel 8a review and more videos based around the Pixel 8a and Android 16. Do you guys like this video? I'm not finished yet, guys. Hold up. We are going to release videos more often, and for some time, I'm afraid we're going to have faceless. We'll have videos without as lot as my face as we have now, just so that I can obviously cook the really good videos in the background for you guys. And we're also going to be preparing other videos like this for you guys, such as the AirPods Pro 2 review, etc., and it's going to be great. I think you guys will definitely be looking forward to the new videos in 2025. And yeah, I hope you guys can stay tuned, stay subscribed, and yeah. As a summary, is Android 16 a good software to use in 2025? If I was telling you if I was telling you as a friend, and I was like, should you use Android 16? 100% yes. Android 16 is an amazing software, and honestly, it's got so many good features in 2025 that I can't really get enough of it. It is so great. And if you guys enjoyed, of course, subscribe and like down below. Android 16 is here to stay, and yeah, there's a few pointers which I'm going to line up before we end this video. So, a few changes. For example, wallpapers. There's a few tweaks in the wallpapers. Everything now looks refined. The home screen. When you load up the home screen for the first time, it glows slightly, and you've also got an animation as you do when you start up the phone. Change number 3 is in the notification shade. You have notification groups, so that's pretty cool. The final change before you stop the video is obviously when you put the volume button up the first time, you can see it's got a new software, which is pretty cool. Anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.